Okay, so welcome to A Major Decision, Choosing the Right Engineering Degree for You. As we said, my name is Melissa Dean. And that is Mikey.
I'm Mikey McCarrans. Like Melissa said, I work in the Office of Recruiting Outreach in the college.
So we're, again, really happy to have you here. Today, what we are going to do is go over all the different engineering programs we offer within the College of Engineering, trying to get you a little bit more of an idea of what we do offer here. We also have a few guest speakers with us today. So our guest speakers are within the Olin Career Center and then our Chevron Center for Engineering Education. They will go over ways of helping you figure out what major may be right for you within a career mindset, and then other resources we have within the College of Engineering that will be helpful to you this fall. So with that, Mikey and I will go over the degree programs now. Again, this is all of our contact information here. So this slide will be available at the end. So do feel free to jot down our email addresses. So if you have any questions with us afterwards, we are more than happy to help answer them. So with that, Mikey, we'll get started.
Yeah. So first off, welcome to LSU and congratulations on being admitted, first and foremost. It's definitely an exciting time to be here. Obviously, the circumstances aren't perfect right now, but we're glad that you guys were able to join us virtually, at least for this session. So as you can see, we have 11 majors in the college. 9 of them are engineering specific, and then we also have construction management and computer science as well. So we are the flagship institution in Louisiana, so we have the most engineering programs in the state. And like I said, these will be the 11 majors that you will be able to get a bachelor's in science in. And I'll be going over, me and Melissa will both be going over each of these majors very briefly. So first off, biological engineering. So if you're interested in going to med school, grad school, to OT school, biological engineering is a good route to go. It's smaller than if you were to just major in biology. So that's one thing that's good about biological engineering. You'll get to know your professors, your classmates. And we do have 4 different areas of study. So biomedical, bioenvironmental, bioprocessing, and then biomechanical. So if you're interested in going to med school, biological engineering is a good route to go. And like I said, it is smaller than if you were to major in biology and you're interested in going to med school. So that's kind of something that appeals to our students who are biological engineers. Then we have chemical engineering. So this is actually the oldest engineering at LSU, and that is mostly due to the sugarcane industry. So you're not just going to be doing petrochem, but you can really do anything you want with this degree. Obviously, you're going to have to be very interested in chemistry. So if you're a heavy chemistry person, I would definitely recommend chemical engineering. This is the 2nd or 3rd most common engineering major. So we have a good amount of students who are chemical engineers. And you will be working on in the chemical engineering processing lab. So doing stuff like making toilet paper, making laundry detergent. So we definitely have the resources for you at LSU to get that real world experience while you're still a student. Next, we have civil. So obviously, given our location, we're right along the Gulf of Mexico. So we really focus in civil engineering and how we can impact our state. So dealing with water resources, transportation, building levees, all that stuff. So a lot of the times we'll have students kind of choosing between civil engineering and construction management. And Melissa will talk about it a little bit later, but civil is a good route to go if you are interested in construction management, but you don't really want to focus on the business aspect as much. You're more focused on just simply building structures, doing geotechnical type work, surveying, all that type of stuff. But I do like to say that if you are going to do civil engineering at LSU, you're going to be focusing more on what's going on within Louisiana, which is obviously water resources and things like that. Next, we have computer engineering. So these next 3 are going to be computer engineering, computer science, and electrical engineering. So all 3 of these are great fields to be in right now. Obviously, as we continue further as a world, we are getting more technologically focused. So this is a great time to be in computer engineering, in computer science, and electrical engineering. The jobs are plentiful. There are more jobs than people available. So it's a great time to be in one of these majors. So with computer engineering, you're going to be kind of putting together electrical engineering and computer science into one. So if you're big on problem solving, this is definitely a great major for you. And as you can see, you might be involved with computer design, circuit design, just anything really with computing, chip design, all that type of stuff. And then as I briefly mentioned, electrical engineering. So this is definitely, in my opinion, if you're a problem solver, this is the major for you. So you're gonna be working on stuff, large scale type stuff, such as designing a more reliable power grid, as you can see, or small scale, like developing components for a new medical device or a cell phone. So like I said, if you're a problem solver, I would definitely recommend electrical engineering, but obviously you'll have time to figure all that stuff out. And then computer science. So this is more of the software aspect of these three more techie type majors. So if you're into math, and even still, if you do like problem solving, computer science as well is a good option for you. And then we have 4 concentrations for our computer science majors. So we have cloud computing and networking, computer science, and a second discipline where you choose another discipline to study that isn't any of these 3 other concentrations. Data science and analytics, and software engineering. And then new this fall is our cybersecurity concentration. So this is really exciting. We've always had a lot of students interested in cybersecurity who are coming to LSU. And finally, we do have a cybersecurity concentration. And we have a professor, Golden Richard, who is an absolute expert in the field of cybersecurity. So that's something we're definitely really excited about with computer science. So I'll hand it off to Melissa to do the following majors.
Great. So construction management is, again, if you are very business focused, but you like to tinker and do engineering type things, this is a program to consider. So this year with construction management, it used to be required that they take Math 1550, which is LSU's Calculus 1 class, which is what all of our engineering majors have to take their freshman year, or have credit from AP credit, placement, whatever. But now this fall, construction management is allowing their students to choose to take business calculus. So that is a nice thing to consider if you just really don't want to do calculus that way. However, we do suggest that if you are still undecided of what you want to do, take Math 1550 so it can go to all of our majors within the college, so you wouldn't be hindered with moving forward. But again, with construction management, you focus on estimating, budgeting. There is law behind it, the materials that you need to use, how to schedule. It's a really cool program that we do offer. It is a 4-year program. There is also a post-baccalaureate certificate that you can pursue afterwards. So if you chose a different major and you want that certificate, it's a year program online and pretty easy to complete in a timely fashion. We also focus in areas of highway, residential, industrial, commercial. If you are pursuing ROTC, you can pursue this major with your ROTC curriculum, and they will have like a military area of emphasis, and then you can just do general construction. Environmental engineering works with civil engineering. So they do everything from wastewater to pollution, recycling, being sustainable, really focusing on coastal engineering, and just whatever needs that you're looking for. Currently, due to COVID-19, one of our professors, Dr. John Pardue, is working with a professor within our vet school and other professors in the state of Louisiana, testing wastewater to see like where COVID is coming from, or like areas, like certain areas that have like bigger populations of COVID cases. So that is a project he just started that was just announced this past week. So that's something really cool that you can do within environmental engineering. It is a very small program. And if you really like to, you want to go to the swamps, you want to do a lot of different things coastal wise, this is a great program for you. You're always outside. So you'll definitely get a lot of hands-on experience that way. Industrial engineering is something I tell every student I meet. This is the major I would have chosen if someone back in 2007 would have told me about it. This is definitely an efficient person. And you kind of, if you like the business side of engineering as well, this is one of them too. So if you go to Disney World and you're wondering how in the world do they manage to bring so many people in and out, and everyone has a happy face on, has a happy smile on their face because there was no problems with traffic, parking, the whole operation. That's an industrial engineer that is designing that. Amazon, like how does Amazon Prime really get your packages to you so quickly? The U.S. Postal Service, even in hospitals, like how a patient enters the ER and then moves elsewhere within the hospital. That is all a design from an industrial engineer. So this again is a small program too. It is engineering heavy, but it's something I would have pursued in a heartbeat. You learn about human factors, like the type of lighting in your office, the type of window, like are your employees going to be productive or not? Those are different things that you get to learn. And it's really cool. Again, if I would go back to school, I would do that. And then mechanical engineering is the most popular program within the college because a lot of students enter LSU who want to do engineering, but they don't know what type of engineering they want to do. So you're going to see like a number of how many people from freshman to senior year exist in mechanical engineering. It's a large number, but I promise you it changes, it fluctuates year to year, so it's not that big all the time. We have a lot of professors who are fabulous to work with, and we do a lot of really cool projects that really give you the opportunity to pursue something that you want to do, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's creating a laptop for someone like Steve Gleason who has ALS and can only speak with his eyes. So he uses a keyboard that he can type with his eyes. Last year, we had students create a sand wheelchair for someone in the Baton Rouge area who always has, I think, cerebral palsy and always wanted to go to the beach with her family, but it was really hard for her to get out there. So they created a wheelchair like that, and it made BuzzFeed, it made Good Morning America, ABC, everything. So there's some really cool things that we do. Also, we have Tiger Racing, so if you want to do planes, trains, automobiles, anything like that, we cover that here as well. Great program. It is rigorous with following the technical flow chart you have to follow. That's the only thing to really consider with this major. And then last, we offer petroleum engineering. This is the unique program we offer at LSU. We are in like the top 5 in the nation when it comes to petroleum engineering programs. We offer a doctorate in this program. We have great faculty and staff who really know what they're doing when it comes to the industry. The program is named after Kraft and Hawkins, and they are the ones who wrote like the first book of petroleum engineering, and they're LSU people. So that's like a cool factor about this well-known major. We do have a PERT lab on campus. So it is a water-based oil rig where you learn blowout prevention. So the picture shown in the PowerPoint, that is before I went through a lot of updates recently, like it is top-notch. You get blowout prevention, hands-on training, really cool things that we are really glad to offer our students with learning. And this program is small too. So the only thing different with this, so at LSU, you must have, after your freshman year, in order to move into the College of Engineering, you must have a 2.0 GPA, a C or better in Math 1550 with 24 credit hours earned. With petroleum, they require a 2.8. That's the only difference with this program. So with all of these majors that we just talked about, we have some other resources for you. We, on our College of Engineering website, under Future Students tab, I think it's under Virtual Visits, we have a link to our department-specific one-sheets that really go over each major. It highlights the size of the program, student organizations, the average starting salaries for all of them, a highlight of a lab or a professor, and then also the undergraduate advisor's contact information. Feel free to email your program advisor. They are expecting emails from students if they're really undecided, so feel free to reach out to them. And then the next page on every one sheet, we have the flowchart color-coded, so it's a little nicer to look at than the technical flowchart that you get as a starting freshman. And
I'll go over the student organizations, but before I do that, I do want to also just say that even if after we just told you about those 11 majors, you're still totally undecided, that it's completely fine. We have almost double as many engineering undecided students this year as we did last year. It's totally common to come to LSU when you're 17, 18 years old and to not know what exact major you want to do. So that's just one thing I want to say. And also with any of these majors, you can really make a difference. If you're in biological, you can be a part of the engineering design class where you design playgrounds across Baton Rouge. I think we have like over 30 playgrounds that our students have designed in Baton Rouge. So, and then we have a professor who's been working on 3D printing ventilators for COVID and stuff. So you can make a difference with any major. It's really up to you. Whatever you are most passionate about, that's what I would recommend doing. But like I said, if you don't know what you want to do right now, it's totally fine. Just wanted to put that out there before I get into student orgs. So as you can see, student organizations, so it's definitely important to get involved outside of the classroom as well. So if you're undecided, this can be a good thing to think about, going to see student orgs and getting involved and seeing what you really are most passionate about. So as you can see, Society of Petroleum Engineers. So we have a academic specific organization for I think every single major. So if you're interested in the mentoring side of things, Society of Peer Mentors, and we'll have Adrian talk about that a little bit later as well, and Tiger Racing. So if you're mechanical and you're interested in building race cars, Tiger Racing I think is one of the coolest things at LSU. And we have our race cars displayed throughout the college each year. So definitely would think about that. And we do have something called Engineering Tiger Connections each year as well. And that is in September. And that's kind of like an open house for all of our engineering specific student organizations. So if you're still undecided, you can go to that sometime in September, and you can kind of walk around and see what's going on within the college, see what's happening with all the majors. And that can be a good way to not only find out what you're interested in, but meet people who are doing different things across the college as well.
You'll be receiving an email to your LSU email address sometime in the fall about when the actual date will be, but you'll get to meet with all 40 organizations we offer. So you have a lot to choose from, which is really exciting about our college. Okay, so now I would like to introduce our two guests from the Olin Career Center. We have Courtney Frost, who is our career coach for the College of Engineering, and then Josh Knutson, who is a career advisor and really helps students kind of like career discovery to really figure out what works best for them and their style. So with that, Courtney and Josh, the show is yours.
All right. Melissa, I'll have you click. There you go. Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Frost. I'm the career coach for the College of Engineering. And so what that means is that it's my job to specifically help students pursuing engineering degrees to gain internships, to look at co-ops, to obtain that full-time job right out of school, or gain admission into a graduate program. So I'm really here to help you in any way that I can in your pursuit of your career goals. And that also includes choosing of your major. And so that's really my job, but the whole Career Center team is here to help you. And so I will let my colleague Josh introduce himself.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Josh Knutson. I'm really happy to be here with y'all today. I'm a career advisor within the Olin Career Center. And really what that means is that I get to help all students and alumni across campus with their career and their major exploration process. So some things that I really like to hear about and look for is just really what's most important to you and really what your story is. And that's really where I come into play and support Courtney and the rest of our team.
Awesome. So I'll go ahead and talk about the mission of our office. So we're called the LSU Olin Career Center, and our office is located in the Union. I also have an office in Patrick F. Taylor Hall, which is where a lot of the engineering classes are held. And so basically our mission is to assist students in any way towards their career goal. And you can see our mission statement on the screen. But so whether that be choosing a career major, obtaining career related work experiences, developing your career job search skills and securing employment or graduate school admission, we are here to help you every single step of the way. And so that starts right now. And so please make sure that you utilize our office in any way that you need over the next 4 years or however long you're at LSU with us. To talk a little bit about how we work towards that mission of assisting all students at LSU, we have 3 teams in the Olin Career Center, and they do very different things. So Josh and I are both on what's called the Student Services team. And so we see students one-on-one, we do drop-in appointments, but a lot of our job is also to run events, to be in presentations like this, to help with recruitment events, so larger scale things as well. But everything that we do is geared towards assisting students in their career development towards their first job out of college or graduate school. Then we have our employer development and relations team, and this is a whole team of people whose job it is to recruit employers to come to campus so that they can recruit you. So we have like 5 people on our team who go on trips to other places, other cities in the US, and they identify employers in those places that Tigers might want to work for, and they go and talk to those people and say, this is the profile of our students. This is how they would fit in your hiring needs. You should definitely be recruiting at LSU. And then try and turn those conversations into those employers posting their jobs in our system, coming to campus for events and things like that. So lots of people working to bring opportunities to you. And then we have our operations team, which helps us just function as an office, and we could not do this work without them. So all of our business operations, meaning our budget, our HR policies, running the center efficiently, anything communication-wise, so emails and social media, and then data to kind of prove what we're doing and how we're helping students. All of that is through operations. And then you'll see on the right-hand column how we support your career development. This is through recruitment events, which is when employers come to campus to talk to you about their companies and their opportunities. Employer information sessions is when an employer will have like a workshop basically, and they'll say, hey, like we're gonna, offer food, we're gonna talk about our company. Like if you're interested in learning more about us, come to this room at this time. On-campus interviewing is when employers interview you on campus. And then lots of workshops and programs that our staff put on, from resumes to networking events, and events where we take you to go visit employer sites. So lots of different things to help support that. Then of course, appointments and walk-ins, and then email tips and things like that, and social media strategy.
Yeah, and we always say that ultimately finding a great career is combining what you know about yourself with what you ultimately will come to know about career, what you may already know about career. And this is our model that we use the most to really help with some of that perspective for career choices and really finding that fit. Everyone's a little different with what it seems like they want in career, but most people can agree on some of these factors and wanting something out of the middle and finding that sweet spot. So these are the 4 factors that we really focus the most on: your interests and just what is most important to you, what you connect with the most, your skills and your abilities. So just what you naturally find yourself to excel at, whether that was in high school or even before, your values and what just makes up who you are and what's most important to you. And then ultimately your personality as well, and kind of really what makes you function and what makes you unique as a person. So even as some of you might be looking at some of these factors right now, you might just start to say, hey, these are some of the reasons that I was really interested in this college or this major, why I'm here today in the first place. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Another thing that I like to always point out is for a lot of people, this is a great place to start, but there's so many other reasons why you might want to choose a major, a career. Some of you might find that you're here today because of a conversation you had with a teacher or with a parent, maybe something you watched or something that you read. So we know that career is really complicated, and there's so many reasons why you could be interested in what you do in the first place. One of the things that we really like to do is work on assessments with our students, and that's a great tool that we use to help connect people with great fits. This is called the Holland's Theory, and it really connects with interest areas. And something I love about this is that people often feel like they have to just choose one part of themselves, whereas these codes show that there's really several different areas that you might really excel in and really care about and really be interested in. And for a lot of people, that's where they can find some of the separation between being interested in a college and being interested in a specific major or even a concentration. And this is an example of it. So a lot of people in the room might identify some of the words that really go with investigative, the problem solver. It's just a lot of STEM in general. But the great thing about the Holland's codes is that that's not where it usually stops. So there's several different other codes that you might really connect with as well. This could be a great tool for you in your decision-making process to kind of separate between some of the different majors and really where you'll find your home within the college. Some of you also might have heard of the Myers-Briggs as well. Maybe you've taken it in high school. You've heard about people talking about it, kind of saying some random letters. At the Career Center, we believe that it can be a little bit more than just some different letters that you heard on a test, but that there can be a lot of real depth to it. A lot of students I find sometimes in their earlier years, but especially in their junior, senior years, find some help within the Myers-Briggs to kind of start to separate between kind of really where a great fit is, especially when it comes to company, great personality, great culture within companies. But we also know that students can find that when they're choosing between different majors, different types of directions they want to go, all based off of their personality and what really makes them who they are.
Awesome. So we're going to go through some resources that we share with students when they're going through this process of thinking about what major they want to declare. And so all of our resources are going to be about mechanical engineers just to keep it consistent, but you can use these resources for any major in the college. And so here we have what is called the ONET, and we'll share links to all of these resources in the chat feature after our part of the presentation, but this is called the ONET. And so basically you can search for any occupation on here, and it will bring up a page like this. And so you can see at the top, it says perform engineering duties and kind of goes into a very brief overview of what a mechanical engineer does, which is really great as just a jumping off point to just get a very baseline, basic understanding of what does this mean, and then we can go deeper than that. They'll show you sample reported job titles, so you can take these job titles and plug them into Handshake, plug them into Indeed, and then go look and see what those job titles say. So you can get a really good understanding of the difference between an application engineer, a design engineer, an equipment engineer, and so forth. And those are all different types of engineers that work under the umbrella of mechanical engineer. So there's even variation within each major. And then underneath where it says view report, it'll say summary, details, and custom. And you'll see all those little tiny hyperlinks. And those are all the sections that the ONET covers for any given occupation that you type in. So there's just a ton of information that you can learn just from this one resource. And it's very bullet point driven. So it'll say, these are the tasks, these are the skills, these are the tools, and it's just very like concise information. So if you're a bullet point reader, this is a really great place to start off. But on our next slide, we have what's called the OOH, or Occupational Outlook Handbook. And oftentimes the ONET will link to this, but this is going to be, more full sentences. It's going to break up the information differently. It's going to be somewhat the same, but it's a good complementary resource to the ONET. And so unfortunately we can't click on it right now, but some really great tabs for the ONET, the OOH, is the how to become one, because it will try and explicitly lay out for you, this is how you become a mechanical engineer. And then also similar occupations, and it will give you kind of a grid laying out the occupation name, a very brief summary of what it is, salary, and then entry-level education necessary. So this is a really great resource as well.
You can't really tell from the slide, but this is a slide for something that we call "What can I do with this major?" And this is one of my favorite ones to point students in the direction. A big reason for that is it's really a way for you just to think holistically about where people usually take that major and what's possible. I think possibilities are great, and really being able to picture yourself, to visualize yourself in that degree is really powerful, and I think that's something that this website does. It does that by breaking engineering and even specific disciplines down into areas, who employs those types of specific careers, and even strategies to get there. So this one's wonderful. At the very bottom, there are links to professional associations, and I always encourage students to look at those and try to imagine, does this feel right? Does this feel like me and what I'm interested in? Are these images, are these words, are these types of things really what connect with me? So this is a great one too. And Cana Career is another one that we use a lot lately. If you're not someone that's as bent on reading as much or doing researching in that kind of way, Cana Career is a great resource because it's more video based. It's more a little bit closer to kind of like a real life interaction. And this is a great website because it's going to be different people and different perspectives within the same fields. So even based off of this picture, you can tell there's several different people. They're going to have different types of job responsibilities, different companies, different roles, and different perspectives is the main thing. And I always encourage students to get different perspectives, even within the same disciplines. They're going to talk to you about how they found, what they love about it, what's challenging, and really how to prepare for it. So Cana Career is a great one as well.
Awesome. So this is a picture of a LinkedIn page. And if you don't have a LinkedIn account right now, I highly recommend that you create one and kind of fill out your profile because it is just a really, really valuable resource in career exploration and when you're looking for specific opportunities. And so it's just great to have one and be active on it from the very beginning of college. And so you'll see here on the screen that we typed in mechanical engineer and we had that search under people. So you can search in several different ways on LinkedIn and it will say, do you want to search in people, in jobs, in content, in groups? And so we searched under people and you can see that there are over 4 million people who have mechanical engineer in their profile. And so that is a massive list of people that you can look at their profile and see, okay, this person works at this company, this is what their career trajectory looked like. If I like this job that they have, this is a pathway that I can follow to get there. So it's a great resource to find people to connect with, to find people to research and see what your career path might look like, to learn about what specific jobs mean and what they kind of entail. And then on the next slide, it will show the job section. So if we type in mechanical engineer and we look under jobs, there's almost 10,000 jobs in LinkedIn right now that have the term mechanical engineer associated with it. And so you can use this as a resource to kind of see, okay, what does a mechanical engineer do at Cajun Industries, which is a construction company, versus at Apple in Cupertino in California. You can see the application in different industries and what those requirements kind of look like. So you can say, okay, I'm going to look at these job postings or internship postings. You can filter it for internships and say, all right, they are all asking, the ones I'm most interested in are asking for, you know, a really good communicator, somebody who knows AutoCAD, and somebody interested in this industry. And so you can say, okay, well, I feel like I'm a good communicator and I can talk about that, but I really need to learn AutoCAD. And so then you can say, all right, that's my plan of attack for being competitive for these internships, is to say, all right, I'm going to look at AutoCAD. So it's just a great resource all around for learning about the different industries that each major kind of feeds into. So you can look for people, you can look for jobs, you can look for all sorts of things in LinkedIn.
Informational interviews is one of the great things that that we encourage students as well to do. And I think really it might be one of the best things that you can spend some time with over the summer, even in the first semester. And this really goes back to Cana Career, where informational interviewing is identifying someone that you might connect with, someone that's in the industry or the major or the career choice that you're curious about, connecting with them, and really just talking to them and having a conversation, asking them a lot of questions about what they do. We find this really valuable because it's really relational. It's a great way to network, and it's a great way to kind of tailor your questions instead of kind of watching videos and doing that. So this is a wonderful tool if you have questions about how to network and how to identify some of these professionals. Courtney, I would be happy to help. And just to close, we appreciate your time today, and this is a really exciting time for all of you. We're happy to be a part of it. Yeah, and just going back to the image, just knowing that there's a lot of different pieces to this. I think a great thing about choosing a great major is going to be just asking a lot of questions, asking yourself a lot of questions, asking other professionals, asking us a lot of questions. Why do you think this way? Why do you do this? What did that experience mean to you? And a lot of processing. we really value goal setting and taking small steps. And hopefully some of these things have been really great steps to do the next things for it. Be well-rounded, spend a lot of time exploring, and enjoy the process. I think being undecided can be a really great time because you're in a situation where you can be really strategic with what you do, and making great choices and setting yourself up for a lot of success. So thanks so much. We're definitely here for you. And I think we're going to transition now.
Awesome. Melissa, I don't know if you're here, if you want to switch to the next slide.
Here we go.
Thanks. Cool. Thank you, Josh and Courtney, for that whole presentation. I haven't worked with Josh too much myself in the past, but I've worked with Courtney, and they're definitely great resources to use if you're undecided. And everything they went over is great to know and will help you guys out. So thank you guys for that. And with that, I'll turn it over to Adrian Steele. Adrian is the Assistant Director for Student Programs and Outreach in the Chevron Center. So that is located in the ground floor of PFT. Adrian oversees the Society of Peer Mentors. She works with communication across the curriculum, and she'll talk about both of those things. And she does a lot of other things. She's kind of the mom of the college. So Adrian, I'll turn it over to you. And if you want to get started, you can go ahead.
Great. There we go. Okay. So thanks for the introduction, Mikey. Yeah, I've been at LSU a long time. So I've worked in the College of Engineering for 6 years, but I've been at LSU for 16, and I have 3 degrees from here. So I totally bleed purple and gold, hence my t-shirt today. So happy to help you guys out. I work with a lot of student leadership and mentoring programs. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is a course called Engineering 1050. And this was specifically designed for undecided students. So this is going to be, it's a fall semester only course. It's for 2 credit hours. You can see there it's in Tuesday, Thursday mornings. And this is kind of like a sampling of all the different majors that the college offers. So we call it engineering, but as mentioned earlier, construction management and computer science are included in that umbrella. So if you want to know more in depth about what each one of these majors is about, this is a good opportunity for you to do that. And this is not a traditional class where you're going to be taking tests and quizzes. This is a very hands-on. You're going to do design projects and research projects. And so it's a very project-oriented course where you're going to really get hands-on experience about what these majors are all about. Typically each week there's a faculty member or an industry representative from each major that comes in and talks to you guys, and you do some kind of project following up with it. There'll also be peer mentors who help out with this class, and these are students who are upperclassmen that are representing different majors, and so you get the perspective of what it's like to be a student in those majors also. And this class is a communication intensive course. So if you guys don't know what that means yet, which you probably don't, is that it's part of the Distinguished Communicator Program. And this is a program that if you choose to enroll in it, it's one of its kind in the nation, which is kind of exciting. And you would get a special designation on your college transcript that says you are a distinguished communicator. I love the sound of that. What this shows to industry people when you're applying for jobs is that not only do you have the technical skills and you have the grades, but you also can communicate in one of all four modes, which are oral, written, visual, and technological. And so there's different courses that you can take throughout your time while you're here that have this kind of communication intensive part. And I encourage you guys to look into that if you want to, and you'll hear more about it once you're a student here. But if you don't have time to actually enroll in this course and it's not something you want to add to your schedule, there's another program that we're offering this year called Go Engineering. And this is the first time we're doing this particular program because it's held in conjunction with Welcome Week. So the first part of that week before school starts will be the Welcome Week activities. Then there'll be this Choose Your Adventure section towards the end of that week. So August 20th to 22nd, which is Thursday, Friday, and a half a day, Saturday. And you'll get information from the admissions office. You'll be emailed with a link to register. It's not available yet. I don't know when it's coming out, but sometime soon. You can sign up for this program. It costs $50. And what you get over this time is you'll attend a luncheon with faculty members from all the different departments. There'll be close to 100 undergraduate peer mentors working this camp. So you'll meet students from all over, from all the different majors, from sophomores all the way to seniors. And we work with some industry folks as well. We'll probably have some alumni come talk. But say you're between two different majors, you're not sure whether you want to do electrical or mechanical or something. You'll have a chance to kind of talk with people in both of those departments informally and get to better make that choice. The engineering exploration session that we're going to do is also when faculty members and students will present about the different majors and kind of dive into it, kind of like what they do at Engineering 1050, but a shorter version over this 2.5 days. And then the last thing in this program that would help is you do a hands-on design project. And there'll be one of usually probably 8 different choices that touch on different majors. So you'll work with a team guided by a mentor for these few days, and you'll get to see what it's like to do the engineering design process. So if the class isn't right for you, this might be an alternative. And that's about it. So if you guys have questions about any of this stuff, feel free to put them in the chat, but I'll turn it back over.
Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you, Josh. And thank you, Courtney, for your help this afternoon. We're very appreciative for them to take their time to speak with y'all today. Before we wrap up, the students that are in the chat, in the session today, if you have any questions that have not been answered today, please type something in the chat or just say like, everything's good. We just want to make sure that we have everything covered for you today. So I'll give you a couple seconds. Where'd it go? Okay, well, if that is the case, if everyone has had their questions answered, again, thank y'all so much for joining us today. Again, here are our contact information, so please feel free to email us with any and all questions that you have. We are looking forward to seeing y'all this fall, so get ready for a great time being a Tiger. 2020 may have had a weird spring, but we're going to keep going. We are still the reigning national champions in football, so we are going to celebrate that way starting school this fall. Again, if you have any questions for us, let us know. Thank you again, Adrienne, Josh, and Courtney. Can't do our jobs without you. So with that, I hope y'all have a great rest of the day. And as always, go engineering and go Tigers.